For privacy reasons, names and places have been changed. This story is inspired by true events.
On June 21, 1998, the Kowalski family, Father Peter, 42, Mother Anna, 39, and their children Mark, 14, and Lisa, 12, disappeared while hiking in the remote Tatra Mountains of southern Poland. The experienced outdoor enthusiasts had been exploring unmarked trails in the wilderness area when they failed to return from what was planned as a 3-day camping expedition. Polish mountain rescue teams conducted extensive searches throughout the challenging alpine terrain but found no trace of the missing family. For 23 years, their disappearance remained one of Poland's most perplexing mountain mysteries, occasionally discussed in hiking communities and missing persons databases. Then, in August 2021, technical climbers exploring a previously unclimbed rock face made a discovery so disturbing that it would finally reveal the horrific circumstances that had claimed the Kowalski family in the depths of the Polish mountains. This is the complete story of their vanishing and the terrifying truth that had been hidden high on an inaccessible cliff face for more than 2 decades. June 21, 1998, marked the beginning of summer hiking season in Poland's Tatra Mountains, where the Kowalski family had planned their annual wilderness expedition to celebrate the end of the school year. Peter Kowalski, an experienced mountaineer and geology professor at Krakow University, had been taking his family on challenging hiking trips for over 8 years. Anna Kowalski worked as a nurse at a Krakow hospital and shared her husband's passion for outdoor adventures, having developed strong hiking and camping skills through years of family expeditions. Their children, 14-year-old Mark and 12-year-old Lisa, were both accomplished hikers who had completed several multi-day treks in the Tatras and other European mountain ranges. The family's planned route would take them through some of the most remote sections of the Tatra National Park, including areas that required advanced hiking skills and wilderness survival knowledge. Peter had carefully researched their itinerary and obtained proper permits for backcountry camping in designated wilderness zones. Their expedition was scheduled to last 3 days, following unmarked trails that would take them to alpine meadows and remote valleys rarely visited by casual tourists. The family carried proper equipment for mountain camping, including emergency supplies and communication devices appropriate for wilderness travel. The Tatras presented unique challenges for hikers, with rapidly changing weather conditions, steep terrain, and areas where trails could become dangerous or impassable without warning. However, the Kowalski family's experience and preparation had made them confident in their ability to handle the mountain environment safely. The family departed from the village of Zakopane at 7:30 a.m. on June 21, driving to a remote trailhead where they planned to begin their hiking expedition. Their route would take them progressively deeper into the wilderness, with planned camping locations that would position them for exploring particularly scenic and challenging areas. Weather conditions on June 21 were favorable for mountain hiking, with clear skies and moderate temperatures that were expected to remain stable for the duration of their planned expedition. The family seemed excited and well prepared as they began their hike into the mountain wilderness. Local mountain guide Stanislav Nowak encountered the family around 10:30 a.m. as they were beginning their ascent along a well-marked trail that led toward the more remote areas of their planned route. Nowak later told investigators that the family appeared confident and properly equipped for their challenging expedition. The last confirmed sighting of the Kowalski family came from other hikers around 2 p.m. on June 21, who saw them leaving the established trail system to follow an unmarked route that led toward a remote valley system. The witnesses remembered the family because they appeared to be experienced hikers tackling challenging terrain. When the family failed to return to Zakopane by June 24 as scheduled, and failed to check in at the planned conclusion of their expedition, Anna's sister contacted mountain rescue authorities to report them missing in the Tatra wilderness. The initial search operation began on June 25 with Polish Mountain Rescue Service (GOPR) teams experienced in Tatra wilderness operations. The search focused on the family's planned route and areas where experienced hikers might travel when exploring off-trail wilderness regions. Search efforts were complicated by the vast scale of the Tatra wilderness and the numerous areas where experienced hikers might explore beyond established trail systems. The family's wilderness skills meant they could have traveled much farther than typical hikers, expanding the potential search area significantly. Helicopter overflights provided aerial surveillance of remote valleys and alpine areas, but the Tatra's complex topography created numerous blind spots where a family might be hidden from aerial observation. The steep terrain and dense forest cover in many areas made comprehensive aerial searching extremely challenging. Ground search teams systematically examined the family's planned route and likely alternative paths they might have taken when exploring unmarked wilderness areas. The teams included experienced mountain guides familiar with the most remote sections of the Tatra Range. After 2 weeks of intensive searching involving over 150 personnel, the formal rescue operation was scaled back due to the low probability of finding survivors after extended exposure to mountain conditions and the challenges of searching such vast wilderness terrain. Throughout the remainder of 1998 and into 1999, the investigation continued with periodic searches and follow-up on reported sightings throughout the region. The case generated significant attention among Poland's hiking and mountaineering communities, who contributed volunteers and expertise to continued search efforts. The Kowalski family's disappearance became part of Tatra mountain lore, with various theories emerging about what might have caused experienced hikers to vanish so completely in familiar mountain terrain. The case highlighted the inherent dangers of wilderness travel, even for skilled outdoor enthusiasts. In 2001, camping equipment found in a remote area initially raised hopes for resolution, but the gear was determined to be unrelated to the missing family after forensic examination. Such discoveries occasionally renewed attention to the case but didn't provide breakthrough evidence. Advanced search technologies became available during the 2000s, including improved GPS systems and aerial survey methods, but the case remained cold without new leads or evidence that could direct search efforts to specific areas of the vast mountain wilderness. The case remained in missing persons databases while family members and friends organized memorial hikes and maintained hope that evidence might eventually surface to explain what had happened during the family's final expedition. By 2020, 22 years after the disappearance, most people had accepted that the Kowalski family had likely died in a wilderness accident that had concealed their remains effectively in the challenging Tatra terrain. However, technical climbing developments were beginning to provide access to previously unreachable areas. August 14, 2021, began as an exploration day for advanced technical climbers Marek Svoboda and Jan Pesek, experienced Czech mountaineers who were attempting to establish new climbing routes on previously unclimbed rock faces in the remote sections of the Tatras. The climbers were working on a particularly challenging cliff face in an area that had never been accessed by hikers or climbers due to its extreme technical difficulty and remote location. The rock face was positioned in a way that made it invisible from established trails and inaccessible without advanced climbing equipment. Around 3:15 p.m., while working approximately 80 meters up the cliff face, Svoboda noticed unusual objects lodged on a narrow ledge system that was partially concealed by rock formations. The objects appeared to be artificial materials that seemed out of place in the pristine mountain environment. Closer examination revealed what appeared to be camping equipment and personal belongings that had been deposited on the ledge system, possibly by avalanche or rockfall activity. The items appear to have been there for an extended period and were partially preserved by the dry conditions at high elevation. The climbers immediately recognized the potential significance of their discovery and carefully documented the location while avoiding disturbing what might be evidence related to missing persons. They photographed the items and recorded GPS coordinates before continuing their climbing activities. Upon returning to civilization, Svoboda and Pesek contacted Polish mountain rescue authorities about their discovery and provided detailed information about the location and nature of the materials they had observed on the remote cliff face. GOPR teams with advanced technical climbing capabilities were organized to investigate the discovery and conduct recovery operations in the extremely challenging location. The cliff face required world-class climbing skills to access safely, explaining why the area had never been searched during previous operations. The recovery operation revealed camping equipment, personal belongings, and human remains that appeared to have been deposited on the ledge system by natural forces. The items were partially preserved by the high-altitude environment and protected location. Among the recovered items were identification documents and personal belongings that definitively linked the discovery to the missing Kowalski family. The condition and positioning of the remains suggested they had been killed in a catastrophic avalanche or rockfall event 23 years earlier. Forensic analysis confirmed that the remains found on the cliff ledge belonged to Peter, Anna, Mark, and Lisa Kowalski. The preservation conditions at high altitude had maintained enough evidence to establish their identities and begin understanding the circumstances of their deaths. The investigation revealed that the family had been killed in a massive rockfall event that had occurred in the remote valley below the cliff face. The rockfall had been triggered by natural geological processes and had swept the family's campsite, depositing their remains and equipment on the inaccessible ledge system. Evidence suggested that the Kowalski family had been camping in what appeared to be a safe location in the remote valley when the rockfall occurred without warning. The geological event had been so massive that it had completely altered the landscape, making the accident site unrecognizable during subsequent searches. Personal items recovered from the ledge included Peter's geological research notes and photographs that documented their expedition up to the time of the fatal rockfall. The materials provided insights into their final days and confirmed that they had been enjoying their wilderness adventure until the tragedy occurred. The cliff face location explained why extensive search efforts in 1998 had failed to locate any trace of the missing family. The rockfall had deposited their remains in a location that was completely inaccessible to conventional search methods and invisible from all established hiking routes. The discovery brought closure to extended family members and friends who had spent 23 years wondering about the Kowalski family's fate. While learning the circumstances of their deaths was devastating, the evidence showed they had died together while pursuing the outdoor activities they loved. The case highlighted the unpredictable geological hazards that can exist in mountain environments, where rockfall and avalanche activity can occur without warning and create dangers that even experienced hikers cannot anticipate or avoid. Marek Svoboda and Jan Pesek were recognized for their discovery and their professional handling of the recovery coordination. Their technical climbing skills had made it possible to access an area that had been completely unreachable during previous search operations. The location where the Kowalski family was found has been documented and marked in geological surveys, though its extreme inaccessibility means it will likely never be visited except by the most advanced technical climbers. The case prompted discussions about geological hazard awareness in mountain environments and the importance of understanding natural processes that can create sudden dangers for wilderness travelers, even in areas that appear safe for camping. The Kowalski family's story serves as both a tragedy and an important reminder of the unpredictable natural forces that can affect mountain environments, where geological processes can create deadly hazards without warning even for experienced outdoor enthusiasts. The 23-year delay in discovering their fate illustrates how effectively natural disasters can conceal evidence in mountain terrain, depositing remains in locations that are completely inaccessible to conventional search methods and invisible from established routes. For Polish mountain rescue services and geological monitoring organizations, the case provided crucial insights into rockfall hazards and the need for better understanding of geological processes that can threaten wilderness travelers in mountain environments. The persistence of family members in keeping the case active and the development of technical climbing capabilities that provided access to previously unreachable areas both contributed to the eventual resolution of this decades-old mystery. The case demonstrates how natural disasters can claim lives in ways that make recovery extremely difficult, requiring advanced technical skills and chance discoveries to locate evidence of what occurred during catastrophic geological events. Technical climbing continues to advance throughout the Tatras and other mountain ranges, with climbers now more aware of the potential for discovering evidence related to historical accidents in previously inaccessible locations. As of 2021, improved geological monitoring and hazard assessment help identify areas where rockfall activity might threaten hikers and climbers, though the unpredictable nature of mountain geology means that some risks cannot be completely eliminated. The Kowalski family's legacy lives on through improved geological hazard awareness and the continued dedication of mountain rescue organizations who work to protect wilderness travelers, while their story serves as a powerful reminder of both the beauty and the deadly power of natural forces in mountain environments.